All right. All right. Welcome, friends, stoners, and Canna fam, to the latest episode of the Cannabis Chronicles. I am your boy, Brother Bong, and we're coming to you from Black Unicorn Division Studios in the Bronx. A beautiful night here in the Bronx. Not too bad, not too shabby. We went through some really weird weather. I gotta do some exercises before we come on. Ru- rubber baby buggy bumper. So what's going on? What's up? Stoners? Welcome, friends, stoners, and Canna fam, to the latest episode of the Cannabis Chronicles. And as I said, I am here with you. I'm your boy, Dr. Bong, and we are a weekly candid cannabis community conversation where we chop it up about our favorite subject, cannabis. Shout out to you guys. Question for today is cannabis medicine? And we want to find out what your thoughts on that. So welcome to the Stereo app. Uh, but you can also check out the show on another platform. You can check it out on, we have other platforms available that we have the show hosted at. We have it, let's see. Oh, wow, this is ill prepared on my part. Please forgive me, but yeah, we it's really cool because now we do have it set up so we can have it on real platforms. We have it on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeart, Podcast Index. The main platform is Buzzsprout, and I also YouTube. So thank you so much for checking out the show. So you can check us out on those platforms. We again have a couple of subjects we want to talk about. Do you feel cannabis is medicine? Please feel free, leave us a bubble if you feel cannabis is medicine. And if it is, and you're a patient, how does it affect your life? How does it improve the quality of your life? Because surely, as if you've listened to the show before, you've heard me say many, many times that cannabis has, I've helped so many patients, so many people, and helped to impact and improve the quality of their lives, whether they had chronic pain, whether they had other of the qualifying conditions that are in New York State. So, I always say that each individual, nobody is, how should I say, cannabis isn't for everybody, but everybody knows somebody who could benefit from cannabis medicinally. As I said, this is your boy, Dr. Bong. We are a weekly candid cannabis community conversation. And, we're just building our audience. We're building our show back on this platform because we can now share it. And before, I had a little bit of, I don't want to say trepidation, but I didn't have the technology down. So I had to, I was able to record the stuff, but I didn't have anywhere to upload it to, and where to go after I had recorded these shows. So bear with me as I catch myself and get my bearings here. I was looking for my pen so I could write as we spoke, and literally it was right in front of me, but you know how that is. So we are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, Dr. Bong. We're our weekly candid cannabis community conversation. So now I have my stuff together. I got my water, got my tea. So shout out to Best Buds Magazine. That's Best Buds Magazine. You can check them out on Instagram. You can also check me out on Instagram. I am Brother Bong 420 on Instagram. You can check out the past episodes of the show. 'Cause I jumped from platform to platform and then back to the original platform. As I said before, this is my original platform. There's so many. It goes way back to when everything changed in New York. I think maybe my first recording was my first show was actually at the parade at the May Day parade, the very first parade that followed after Governor Cuomo, then Governor Cuomo at the time, had signed the Adult Use Act and had changed cannabis forever in New York. And so that was the very first show, and that was on stereo. And I just kind of just talked to people and talked to my friends and my listeners. Shout out to BJ. I actually sent him an invite for the show tonight, but so we're doing what we do. So again, shout out to Best Buds Magazine, DC, and his team over there. Also, Pen Game Publishing. Check out if you have young people in your life, and you want to introduce them to reading, but not only reading, but being able to put reading and technology together. Because this stuff that the things that they're doing with this book at Pen Game Publishing. Naya and the Number Garden is the name of the very first book that I saw. But there's a whole series of books, so check them out. Shout out to Sage Genetics. JT and his team going to be seeing, still consuming the Italian ice from last week. Still very happy with that, happy with the Italian ice, happy with how that works and how that makes me feel. Shout us out. Let us know what you're consuming tonight, if you're consuming tonight. And also, if you're a medical patient, like, how do you consume and how do you use it? Excuse me. Like, how do you, because obviously there's different routes of administration. There's obviously different ways to administer. Some people you can have a suppository and use that and put cannabis, where you will put a suppository rectally and get the medicinal benefits from it that way. But some folks take it in an oral solution. That was one of the first ways that I discovered the medicinal benefits of cannabis and how it can be transferred from flower form to a drinkable form. I actually had this is going back to legacy days. Shout out to the team up top. We had a nickname, but now the name kind of sounds weird because of the legal ramifications of the individual, and we didn't do it for that. But we had a nickname for Pounds, and we were the Pound Boys and the Blank Boys, and so it goes back to those days, and we would just have so much cannabis. It was just cleaning. And me, I'm a recycler. I upcycle all kind of stuff, and I actually had a really big, really big, bag. What do you call it? A freezer bag of stems, because we had just cleaned this pound, and so I love tea. So I took this particular stem and I used it to stir my tea, and I let it sit in there, and I saw the stem, uh, get hydrated, and then I saw a oil component around, where the stem was, and then at that point I didn't know what decarboxylation is, and if you guys don't know it, I'll explain it in a moment. But that process decarboxylized that cannabis, the little bit of pieces of what in it, and I drank it, and I could feel it. So I used to make this. My very first medicinal product was a tea that was brewed from the leftover stems and the buds that were left over from pounds that I had. And I seeped it, and then I strained it into with a regular normal coffee pot, and I strained it into the water, and then I bottled the water, and then I refrigerated the water. So, And then actually at the end, I started, a little bit more high tech. I was using bottled water and then, processing it that way. But it was a rudimentary beginning of what my medicinal cannabis experience. Well, I didn't know at that time what it was going to be. So again, there's different routes of administration. So if you can drink it, you can drink it. You can smoke it. You can vape it. You can eat it. If you actually put again, shout out to Sage Genetics. Just they create so many cool products. They just created a coconut butter for our co-host, and we're going to get him up and running soon. Bit under the weather. Shout out to our boy Wild Bill Wofford, aka Professor Waffles. Shout out to JQ and his family. Shout out to Waffles and his family, Miss M. Just so we're all gonna be together, and you're gonna have this conversation. You're gonna hear this conversation, but circumstances and scheduling have done the conflict, but have created the conflict. Excuse me, but as Wild Bill told me today, the show must go on, so we must go on. Shout out to Cannabis Society. And again, all these folks, you can check them out on my Instagram. My brother Bong 420. But Cannabis Society, if you want to get involved in the grassroots, if you want to get involved with cannabis in so many different ways, then you need to check out Cannabis Society and how they do what they do. You can actually become part of what they call the platoon, and you can get involved with activities through the through Cannabis Society, and be able to be an advocate. You can educate, you can advocate, and you can communicate. Those are the part of the mission statement of Cannabis Society. Shout out to Grizz. Shout out to Abe, everybody over there, Saki, and everyone on that team. So big love to them. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, Brother Bong, and we are a weekly candid cannabis community conversation. And we talk about cannabis on all perspectives, from all different sides. We talk about current events. We talk about all kind of stuff. However, we try to keep our eye on the ball when it comes to medical cannabis. So we wanted the folks to let us know if you feel that cannabis is medicine, and if cannabis is something that you use medicinally. So leave us a bubble. Thank you for being here. You could be anywhere in the world. And we have a bubble. So let's see what's going on.
Yo, peace. Shout out to you, homie. Yo, this is my kind of shit. Cannabis talk. Yo, as I speak about cannabis, what's the strain of the day? Strain of the day.
All right. So that is, thank you so much. The strain of the day. Today we are consuming, and it is brought to us by our friends at Sage Genetics, but it is called, Italian Ice. Italian Ice. So if you want to do, wait a minute, I have a computer right here in front of me. So I'm going to do my research on that strain. So we are the Cannabis Chronicles. So let me know where you're calling me from, the great. Where you calling from? You're calling from, we are out of New York. We are the Cannabis Chronicles from the Bronx, New York. Let us know where you are and what are you scooping. You asked me what you're consuming. What are you consuming? What is your strain of the day? And also we have, again, courtesy of our friends at Sage Genetics, we have a combination vape called Ice Cream is the flavor, and Zai Tai. Okay, we got another bubble from the great. And what's going on, bro? We'll be right back in a moment after the bubble.
Yo, Italian ice. That sounds crazy, cuz. Shit. Straight from New York? Yo, that's dope. I'm from London, man. And yeah, I'm smoking strawberry cheesecake right now at this moment. Yeah, it's fire, man.
Yo, I love strawberry cheesecake the great. That's one of my favorite strains. I love any any cakey strains. I mess with them. I can mess with some cakey strains. Here's your second bubble. Where did I go? Where did I go? Where did you go? Here we go.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it's strawberry cheesecake from Dank of England. Yep.
So, all right. So we are truly an international show. I am your boy, Brother Bong, and we are the Cannabis Chronicles, and we are talking to our boy, the Great, from London, England, and he is consuming. What did you say? He's consuming some strawberry cheesecake, which, by the way, not only is it a great strain, but I love me some strawberry cheesecake in real life. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. I am your boy, Brother Bong, and we are just chopping it up today here on the Cannabis Chronicles. I am going to look up this strain. Let's Google. Where is it? Where is it? Oh my God, Hytiva. Let's go. Hytiva. Hytiva cannabis. Here we go. Learn about cannabis strains and order online. All right. Just started following you. Say hello. I'm going to follow you back, the great. How about that? Follow back and it's done deal. So let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Strange. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Strain name. Strawberry cheesecake. Yeah. Strawberry cheesecake. Let's see what we got here, buddy. All right, strawberry cheesecake. Here we go. Right here on top. This is a hybrid strain. It's a cross between chronic and white widow and cheese. THC content. It's a nice mellow. It's 20%, 20 to 22% THC. Very fruity in flavor. The effects make you happy, hungry, get some sleepiness, dry eyes, dry mouth, and you can get a little nervous if you want. So if you consume too much, so always remember that. Yes, we are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, Brother Bong, and we are a weekly candid cannabis community conversation where we talk about our favorite cannabis subject, that is cannabis. Let's see what's going on in this one. Italian ice. Search. Okay, so I don't have Italian ice and Miami Vice to juice, space juice. So the closest I have is a black ice, and it kind of looks like the strain. Black Domina plus white cross with White Widow. Earthy, spicy, sweet. Definitely what I feel. Calm, happy, sleepy, tingly, dizzy, dry eyes, dry mouth. Again, you can check out your strain. If you want to find out more about the strain that you're consuming, you can check out Hytiva. That's Hytiva. Also check out, Best Buds magazine. That's bestbudsmag.com. You can check us out. Yes, I have an article there. Going to be doing a little bit more work with the magazine, so I'm looking forward to that. Shout out to Big Gas Worldwide. Not only are they Big Gas Worldwide, but they're also Big Gas Dispensary. If you are in the New Paltz area, New York, check them out and check them out and tell them that you talk to Dr. Bond and give them a shout out, give us a shout out, and let them know that you heard about them on our show. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, Brother Bong, and the question of the week is: last week's question was, and I guess I can pose this question this week: how long do you say Happy New Year? Because to pose a question because last week I was out of town, and we were out of town, and someone actually wished me a happy new year, and it stuck with me, and I was thinking about it the whole time I was, traveling, and I was wondering how long it do you wish people happy new year? Is it a day? Is it a week? Is it a month? But how long do you wish people happy new year? But today's question is cannabis medicine? And my absolute answer is definitively yes. I've helped hundreds, if not thousands of people, feel better with their cannabis as their medicine, and being able to improve the quality of their lives. Because at the end of the day, fam, the only thing that any medicine can do, any therapy can do, is to help improve the quality of your life. And if cannabis can do that for folks, then why not? Why not think of it? Why not think of it as a uh, um why not think of it as an alternative, as a supplement? Many folks find that they use less of the medications that they're prescribed. They use less of the opioids. They use less of the benzos when they introduce cannabis to their regimen. And as I said, you could take it, and I had a consultation today with an unlikely consultation because, again, for me, if you talk to me longer than 5 minutes, I'm going to bring up cannabis in some way, shape, or form. And I was in a meeting with a veterans counselor. Yes, I'm a veteran. Shout out to all the veterans across the world doing what they're doing now, and the service members who are active duty, protecting us all across the world. Shout out to the veterans who have served, and some have given, all have given some, but some have given all. So thank you for your service. But I was talking to this veteran counselor, and I started talking about cannabis, medicinal cannabis, and one of the things he was saying was that you didn't want to feel like he was stoned. You didn't want to feel like he was high. And I was saying, now if you know cannabinoids and you know the interaction, and if you don't know the interaction, then you speak to somebody who can help you, and that's where somebody like myself comes in. Shout out to all the bud tenders who do it the right way. And but basically, once you introduce CBD to THC, you level out the psychotropic. So what that means is, what does that mean in all the layman's terms? What does that mean in all this big old talk? Basically, what I'm saying is that it levels out the feeling of being high. So what that helps people do is that helps you function, because sometimes folks don't want to feel like they're elevated. They don't want to feel like they're stoned. But if you introduce CBD to that, then that CBD in the mixture, and that other cannabinoid CBD, that levels out the psychotropic. And I say this every day, well, not every day, but I say this to folks. I use my combination. I use a 1-to-1 combination, CBD and THC, extra strength capsule, and I take it with my vitamins every morning. Every morning. I've been a vitamins kid, I've been a vitamins person for my whole life, pretty much. And so now it's just become part of my vitamin regimen. And I know now, if I knew then what I know now, easily say that. Hindsight is 2020. But if I knew then what I know now, I would have saved myself a whole bunch of aggravation, a whole bunch of pain. Because sometimes pain is not simply pain. Like, where is the origin of the pain? Where is it coming from? Why am I having this particular condition of pain? Now, if we could say, okay, well, what is it? Is it from inflammation? Because if it's from inflammation and you only treat the pain, then you're not treating the source of the pain, the origin of the pain. And that is the inflammation. But what folks don't sometimes realize or don't know is that THC is, beneficial for the pain. So they get on this cannabis regimen, they feel better, but they're only treating part of their condition. Trust me, you want to talk to your bud tender. You want to talk to your cannabis, because I have been and done this for such a while, such a long time, that the title has changed and what it is that I am, what it is that I did through my 10 years in this thing. So at first, we were called a PCR, patient care representative, PCR, patient care representative. At the very beginning, all about the patients. You guys could actually sit down and have a consultation with us, whether you sat down face to face, whether you had a phone consultation. At that time, there really wasn't really Zoom. Zoom hadn't really popped yet. But I had specialized in those kind of consultations. So I'd done, like I said, hundreds and hundreds of consultations. So I pretty much had dealt with so many different kinds of patients. Then the position changed to what they call Cannabis Sales Association. Cannabis Sales Cannabis Sales Associate, Cannabis Sales Representative, something to that effect. CSA, Cannabis Sales Associate. But it changed, the first word changed. It went from patient to cannabis. Okay. So if you ever have done a recipe or if you ever seen ingredients in anything, the very first word is what is the largest amount in that particular product. The first ingredient at the top of the ingredient list is the largest percentage of that particular, whatever that particular product is. So I always apply that to how it changed. It changed from patient care to cannabis sales, and then now everybody is framed as a bud tender. So I've had the honor of being all of those things. But again, in each of those phases, in each of those experiences, I have had people pose questions to me that were patient origin or had origins in their medical, have patient origins, not you know. Now, did the ratio change? Absolutely. What do we mean by ratio? The ratio, the percentage of questions that were medically based, in opposed to strength based, as far as cannabis is concerned, or even now. So people were all hung up on the percentage of THC, which now we know that. I mean, that has a large part to do with it. However, terpenes and terpene profiles and other um, uh, experiences, shall we say, have an indication or have an effect on the cannabis. I'm gonna drink my tea real quick. One of the main things is mood. You can definitely have a different experience with the same cannabis on Saturday than you did on Tuesday. Because on Tuesday, you had experienced what you had experienced up until that day. And then from Tuesday on, you experienced what you had experienced from that. And that is a cumulative learning and cumulative experience. But also, you may have been in a good mood because you found that outfit that you were looking for. Okay. But in between Tuesday and Saturday, you broke up with your girlfriend, you lost your job, your car broke down, whatever the case may be. And yet you consume the same cannabis, but you have a different experience because your life experience is different. So when you judge it like that in experience wise, then yes, you have to factor that in. Now, medicinally, if you're looking at it medicinally, again, the ratios have huge factor on it. As I said, because I've been experienced with this for so long, I feel that there's a certain ratio that works. That's the key for human cannabis consumption. There's a ratio that for me unlocks it for every human. And I said it before, and it is if you count it if you count it in 4 parts, okay, 3 parts THC, 1 part CBD. 3 parts THC, 1 part CBD. If you can have an oral solution you can have that ratio, and that ratio for me was the key for human consumption. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, Brother Bong. We are a weekly candid cannabis community conversation where we talk about cannabis and the medicinal side. We have reached the halfway point of the show. We are at 30 minutes, so I have been blobbing my mouth for 30 minutes and holding it down. Shout out to our friend Justin from Chill Pipes and BuzzFeed. That's Justin from Chill Pipes and BuzzFeed. We have a really cool bong here. I don't consume in this particular studio, so I consume outside, and I don't have the bong here. But we call her Black Beauty, Ebony. She's an all black bong. If you know me, you see me. I'm definitely Mr. Johnny Cash. I rock the black clothes. So for me, when I got this bong, I was so happy. Shout out to Justin and thank you so much. Him and his team there at Chill Pipes and BuzzFeed. Check them out. Is a periodical where they have a weekly rundown of things you might have missed on cannabis or articles that might have been just too long, and he breaks it down for you. So thanks, buddy, for everything you do, everything you've done, and we appreciate you. So again, how long is it too long to say Happy New Year? And today's question is cannabis medicine? Now, medicinal studies will say absolutely. Medicinal cannabis can increase the efficacy of chemo, reducing side effects, says a new study in the Journal of Pharmacology and Therapeutics. So it goes to our message. It says exactly what we um, what our message here is at the Cannabis Chronicles. So again, improving the quality of life of a patient, and again, reducing the experience that an individual may have when there are the side effects associated with chemotherapy. Now, in my own life, my mom was going through, and God rest her soul, but she was going through her bout with cannabis. And it was interesting because we had, as a child, you go through life with your parent. And I was one of those kids who didn't like my vegetables. So I would try to, that little thing, put the vegetables all across the plate and try to make it look like my plate was empty, but have the vegetables in the corner. And then when I had kids, and I always got busted. First of all, I always got busted. Try to do that. Never worked. And then when I had kids, I saw that they did the same thing. But now my kids were older when my mom was going through her thing. I was home, and I was, we were tag teaming, helping her, my siblings and I. And one of the things I noticed was that she started doing the same thing. Like her food, she would try to make it look like she was eating, but she would spread her food all over the plate. And then I called her on it. And it was so interesting that I was able to go back to that. But because I was also present with her when she went to see her oncologist and her doctor's appointments, I was able to establish a relationship with her physician, her oncologist. And, I expressed to him my concerns about her not eating, blah, 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 blah. Now, again, you're gonna hear that I have been around cannabis my whole life, but it never applied medicinally until that time. And then it was like a ton of bricks, like they say. It was like, okay, because if she had the munchies, then the munchies would induce a person to eat, which it did, which then made her feel energized because you get fuel. We get fuel from our food. So then it was quite simple. And I hadn't even been in this industry. I hadn't even thought about, like I said, I was living in New York. I was doing a whole different career path. But I hadn't, so fast forward. So I get involved with healthcare, and I'm back in New York. and I started working in nursing as a certified nursing assistant. Then I did that for a few years with the geriatric population. Shout out to all the CNAs, all the nurses, all the doctors, all the people who the staff, the cooks, the housekeeping, all of those people. Just know that if your loved one is in a facility, just give those people who are helping and take care of them a little love, because it's a really hard job. But I cut my teeth doing that. Then I pivoted to pharmacy, and I worked in the pharmacy. At first, I was a cashier in the pharmacy. So I did that for a couple years because that was cool. I had, again, making sure that I had to, because I wasn't a custodial parent, so I always had to make sure I had to pay child support. So it was a steady job. 11.99 was a good union. And then I did that, and then I took the test in house, and I was a pharmacy technician. So then that led me to have relationships with pharmacists, and I did that for a little while, and then I became with Rite Aid. They implemented this program. We were called Wellness Ambassadors. Now, if you've ever been to at that time, if you had been to a Rite Aid, excuse me, it's easy for me to say, right? You may have encountered one of us where we inquired about did you have all of your shots? Did you have your flu shot yet? Or maybe we were able to direct you to a particular product, or were able to provide you with some information that you needed, but we kind of floated around the store and we did that. So I got involved with that. And then one of the pharmacists, shout out to Nelson, who I met through that process, got involved with medical cannabis for the very first time. He is, and still is, he still is in the industry as well, pioneering pharmacist in medical cannabis. So um, he pulled my coat, brought me into this. And so I was able to, marry the life that I mentioned earlier about, working in the legacy market, how I did for many years. And then I was able to, take the healthcare side and the empathetic side of being able to help folks, and then learning that cannabis actually can help a person on a very, very organic personal level, because it was my mom. So, I was able to see that it helped her. And then years later, being actually brought into this industry and being able to actually, as I said, help hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people with their condition. One of them, like I said, shout out to Wild Bill Wofford, shout out to Wild Bill Professor Waffles, because he is not only a co-host, but he's been on the show for the past year or two, so I guess. So, but when we switched over platforms, we have taken a little time off for the new year. And then in January, shout out to my family, shout out to the matriarch of our family, Miss GG, the one and only GEG. Happy 90th birthday to her. Nobody on that side will listen to this show. But anyway, so we had her thing at the end of January, and then now we're at the beginning of February. What is it, February 11th? So but we had some schedule conflict. So Billy's getting his stuff squared away. But you're gonna meet him, and eventually, but my point is that he started out as a patient with me. And when I met Bill, he will tell you the story better, but he was just in rough shape from the conditions that he was suffering from and the side effects associated with the medication that was supposed to be beneficial to him, but unfortunately it wasn't. And it's not that it wasn't beneficial, it's just that the side effects, you take a look at any of the commercials about the medicines today that you can see. You turn on the television, and you're going to see one. If you watch regular network television, you're going to see a commercial. Excuse me, but he is a patient a person I met through my association with the dispensary. JQ, probably one of the first patients that I ever had. He's going to come through on the show coming up. Again, just got to get our scheduling squared away, and we're going to make it happen. But those individuals have real stories. Those individuals have traction. Those individuals have been part of the part of the many people that I have helped in my cannabis career. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, brother Bong. We are a weekly candid cannabis community conversation, aka slash Dr. Bong. I know I should have said this at the beginning, and this is a disclaimer, but I am not a doctor. I am simply been tagged this by my boy Ty back in the day when I started on this. It was probably one of my first conversations on this app, and he had questions about cannabis, medicinal cannabis, and I was able to answer them. And he said, "Man, you Dr. Bong, man, you talk about bongs," because he asked me how my favorite route of administration, how I like to consume, and I always said, and I am a huge bong smoker. For me, at the time when I got really, really involved with bongs, it was because of economics. Drinking some more water. All right. So that's how the bong side came. So people started calling me Dr. Bong because I consume bongs, and I have a pretty good grasp on the medical cannabis. So we are the Cannabis Chronicles, hence I am your boy Dr. Bong. Weekly candid cannabis community conversation. Today's subject is cannabis medicine. So if you are a cannabis fan, a fan of cannabis, if you have experience, if you have a story about medical cannabis, please drop us a bubble here. You can also follow me on Brother Bong 420 on Instagram. Medical cannabis could increase the efficacy of chemotherapy, reducing the side effects. So this is a new study from the Journal of Pharmacology and Therapeutics. So check that out. Also, if you are a healthy individual, you're not sick, but you have all right, we have a bubble. It looks like we have a bubble from Tommy Mott. I just want to we'll say this real quick before I play your bubble, T. Consuming cannabis before exercising can result in heightened enjoyment and enhanced inner runner's high. So, do you exercise? And if you do you exercise consuming cannabis? And we got the bubble.
Man, I wish I could get high like that. I just, I can't. I've tried and tried and tried, and I don't like that kind of high. Um, I just really don't like that kind of high. I can never focus. I can never understand what's going on. Um, I'm more of a drinker anyway, but yeah. I mean, I wish I could enjoy the highness, but I just don't.
Hey, Tommy, thank you so much for your bubble. I appreciate that. Yeah, man, listen, there's so many variables, my friend. There's so many variables with this because I say cannabis is not for everybody, but everybody knows somebody who can benefit from cannabis. Now, my suggestion with you is maybe try, I don't know how you've been consuming. Maybe you had a bad experience when you had an edible and it was too much for you. But now, as I was saying earlier in the show, there are different routes of administration. As I said, there are vapes where you can have a small little inhalation, just have a little, and see how that works for you, and see how if that's where because again, everybody's got to find where their sweet spot is, Tommy. Everybody, I mean, and again, as you said, it may not be for you, and you said you tried, and it sounds like you tried a few times. but I don't know specifically how you've tried. But if you ever come across a vape, maybe try having a vape and just having a small inhalation. Because I had a story once, matter of fact, going back to working in a dispensary. Now, once everybody started talking about medical cannabis, then everybody came out of the woodwork who consumed cannabis. Okay, and wow, the Knicks won today. They beat Philly 138-89, and we got another bubble from Tommy. So let me just finish this thought before I forget it. Okay, so again, I forgot it. So let's play the bubble.
I bought these gummies, to try to convince myself that, hey, you know what, I can go ahead and get high on these. Well, I bought them, they got delivered, and I took
Ooh,
one, and I'm thinking to myself,
it didn't
no, I
work, and you
better
had
take
another one.
two.
Ah.
And that was a bad, bad idea. Here I
Mm-hmm.
am, just hanging out with myself. With myself, I'm by myself. And for the next 13 hours,
Mm-hmm.
I was just floored with everything. Everything seemed not good. Not good. Not good at all.
Oh, Tommy, thank you so much for sharing with the audience. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, Brother Bong. And to be honest with you, Tommy, typically, that's usually what happens. Because what happens is folks don't understand what, and this is a medical thing, but what onset and duration of action mean in the human body. Now, when we consume, I'm going to break it down to you. When we consume a vape or a joint, we feel that right away because that cannabis, that THC, is absorbed into our lungs through the smoke, through the vape, and then that is then transferred to our bloodstream through our lungs. Okay, so that's why we feel it right away. Now, the second route of administration would be sublingually, if we were to put it under our tongue. Now, that onset is going to take a little longer. So, if that first onset is within instantaneously, pretty much the next few minutes, then the onset of an oral solution of sublingually is going to be like 15 to 30 minutes, depending on your metabolism, depending on your size. Okay. Then the last, and not the last, but then another route of administration is how you choose. You had the gummy. Now that gummy is chewed up, it's broken down, it's swallowed, it's going to our digestive system. Then it has to be broken down by the digestive juices, then created into the enzymes. Then those enzymes are broken down and then they're secreted into the bloodstream, and then you start to feel it. You start to feel it. That's where the bugaboo is because the onset takes longer for many people. And then the duration of action, if you smoke or vape, I'm going to get to your bubble, buddy. If you smoke or you vape, the duration of action can be 1 to 2 hours, depending on, again, your tolerance, how much you consume, size, weight, such and such and such and such. But the duration of action for a sublingual is going to be 4 to 6 hours. But in this digestic could be 6 to 8+ hours, depending on your experience with that particular product. Because if you've never consumed the cannabis as an edible, and you jump into the edible pool, you're going to have an experience that you had, Tommy. So let's listen to your bubble.
Well, no, I don't think that it has anything to do with that. It's just that I'm so creative and I'm so outlandish about my way of thinking anyway. So I think
Huh?
that what happened there is just that when I took it, and I took it twice, can't believe I did that, but I did. And it just pushed my creativity to the point to where I couldn't understand anything. And for 13, 14 hours, I was just by myself. And that's not good. Being by yourself when you're high is not good. But I don't think that has anything to do with me taking it. I think it has.
Well, absolutely. You just said it yourself. You just said exactly what I said. How you took it, how long you and what you took. Let's listen to Action Pack's video. I mean, Action Pack's bubble.
Famous quote by an underground artist: "Weed is not a drug. It is a medicine. It can help you out in so many ways."
All right, absolutely. Thank you so much, Action Pack, Tommy. Absolutely. But getting back to what we were talking about, Tommy, excuse me, is that how like the edibles are going to smack you a little bit differently, and if you're not ready for it and not prepared for it, it can definitely throw you a curveball. I had this conversation with a person earlier today. Did you know that if you're having that experience that you had, Tommy, if you had some CBD in your possession, you could have used that to level out the psychotropic. So, which means if you had taken some CBD, it would have made you feel a little less loopy, a little less stoned. That because some people enjoy that feeling. I'm not an edible guy. I like vaping. I mean, I like smoking. I'll vape. I'll do dabs. I will, like I said, I will do edibles. I love drinks. I love cannabis infused drinks. Oh man, I love the lemonades. I don't know if you guys know about this guy's name is Willie Nelson. He first of all he's like one of the iconic cannabis potheads from like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, into the 2000s. He recently stopped smoking because of emphysema, but he has this it's called Willie's Tonic, and it is the bomb, and it is great. We got a bubble. Let's see what's going on.
Now, edibles are way different than smoking like 2 blunts or whatever. I'm rolling a blunt now. I could smoke about 5 blunts, 6 blunts a day, and I'll be okay, cool. Maybe take a little nap and stuff. But yo, you take them edibles, you be saying, "Oh, these ain't hitting." Within about an hour, when they hit you, they give you the most craziest body stone. My legs felt like they were floating. I thought I was moonwalking all day. I I'm like, nah. And then when I took a nap, I took a nap. I can't even talk right now. Took a nap and wake back up. I was still fucking high off them. I was like, no, edibles ain't for me. I'm putting them down. I'll stick to my blunts. Stick to my blunts. Same with dabs. Dabs. You know what I mean? When they start getting into making them into weird, crazy things and stuff like dabs and stuff, nah. And wax, no. I'll stick to my blunts.
Thanks.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right about that. It's just that I do have, and maybe you don't want to talk about it. Maybe I do want to talk about it. Maybe we don't want to talk about it, or maybe we shouldn't talk about it at all, or maybe we should. But the whole point is, I have sleep paralysis, right? So what happens there is that I just couldn't go to sleep. I just uh, visioned everything when I was on it. So I'm not making sense. All right, I'm sorry about that. Sorry for wasting your time.
Oh, Tommy, bro, listen. This is a conversation. I'm stimulated by conversation. And again, you guys weren't on the show earlier when I talked about this, but I talked about how having a cannabis, how your mood and your frame of mind can affect you. So, I mean, if you have sleep paralysis and you're adding cannabis to that, that may not be 100%, 100% best experience for you. But I got another bubble. Let's see what's going on.
Now, Brother Bong, don't get me wrong. Brother Bong, don't get me wrong. What to do? What to do? You smoke your bone, I smoke. Okay. I took a hit from a bong. Hit from a bong. Just, I could smoke the bong, but just too much smoke go in my lungs. You know what I mean? Like, that's for real. Yo,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta have iron lungs for that shit. Speaking
Yeah.
of an iron lung, I tried an iron lung bomb, and when I took a hit, I coughed so hard, I ended up fucking passing out, jumping in the air, passing out and falling on the bed. After that, never really fuck with bongs no more.
Wow. Now, see, I learned from a professor when I was in college. Like, I had this bong I found, and I was trying to use it like a bowl. Now, every apparatus is different. A bowl is like a pipe. You stuff it with pipe. You pull on it, and you consume it, and you can share it that way. But a bong, my friend, is supposed to be a one-hit apparatus. You're supposed to clean your cannabis until it's very fine. Then you put the right amount in the chamber, in the bowl. Bong bowls are very small. You pull that and you just put, like I said, just a dab will do. Just put a little bit of the green flower in it. Pull that through. When the embers of the lit embers hit the water of the bong, that now creates steam that enters your lungs after the smoke. That's a vape. That's vape. So now that process is centered in the front or I think it's the cerebral cortex in the front of your brain. And it's so weird, but I tried it. I tried so much stuff with cannabis and it works. Like my frontal lobe, when I did a small bong was so much more engaged. And then when I smoked everything else, it was like very center brain or back. Like when I smoked some really dank bud, it's back in the back. We are the Cannabis Chronicles, a weekly candid cannabis community conversation. We have expanded our community. I'm going to follow you both. Let's see. I'm going to follow you both. I'm going to listen to this, though. Follow you, Tommy. All right. And now I'm going to follow you, Action Pack. And now I'm going to play this bubble.
There was a guy named Murphy, and he was from West Virginia, and that's when I was into robbing banks, and I did it pretty successfully until that didn't happen. And his name was Murphy, and he used to be a guy that well, I think I'm saying too much, but anyway, all right.
Now, I don't know if you ever tried this. This was very cool. I tried. You know what I mean? I was dating a Lebanese chick, Arabic chick. You know what I mean? And she bought me a hookah. And I'm like, I don't smoke that. Where can I buy the tobacco at? She went and picked me up the tobacco, the molasses tobacco. Now, a lot of people don't know that tobacco has about 5 to 10% THC in that shit. It's made whatever with extract and oils and stuff when you get the real molasses tobacco. So I'm like, hold up. So I put some of that on. I busted out some weed right fine, put that on. My buddy came in and said, what you doing? I said, I'm trying to experiment. I took a hit of that. We were just smoking on that. Man, that shit burned for 5 hours straight with the hookah tobacco. Oh my gosh. Best high ever. Best high ever.
Yo, bro, I know this is going back some years. Dear friend for years passed away. I went home and after the repast, all of us got together, and we were all smokers at this time. We were all grown adults. This was a teenage friend who passed away, and so after her funeral, we went to the repast, and then we all got together, and we were at the, smoker's house and shit, and they happened to have this big hookah bomb, and man, we put uh, everybody put a little bit of bud in it. Everybody put a little bit of bud. So we were like just sitting there smoking, thinking about our friend, our dear friend. And man, we must have smoked that because, like you said, people just kept putting, as soon new people came, they put more bud on it. And it just, uh, it just continued and it was really cool. We smoked for a couple hours on that too. We got a bubble. Let's see what's going on.
Here's the thing. Yeah, I used to rob banks. I don't do that anymore. Of course not. No way, no how. But when I was younger, I did. And if you want to ask me about that, that's cool. Um, as it goes, um, I used to date a guy um, from Taiwan, and then here's the kicker. I used to date a guy named Taiwan. Let me tell you, very, very different.
All right, Tommy. Well, definitely lived a high speed, low drag lifestyle. Listen, uh, do your thing, man. I don't want to have nothing to do with no bank robbing because I'm too old to be going to prison. I'm too old to be going to jail. You know, it just don't not a fun place. So we just going to keep that on the bubble. All right, we are the Cannibal Chronicle. We are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, brother Bong. We are weekly candid cannabis community conversation, and we are here with Action Pack and Tommy Mott. What are you doing? What's going on? Let's see what's up.
Moment of silence, hold up. For the ones we miss, the ones walk over us, and walk with us. Yeah, God rest to your loved ones, man. Yo, yeah, them things burn really, really good, man. You know what I mean? And it's good for if you're having, like you say, your party, you having to get together, you playing cards, you got that in the middle of the table, you got one of the big ones with everybody got their own little smoke thing
Facts,
with it and all
facts.
that, and they take a puff, boom, boom. And yeah, you be smoking on that for an hour and just conversating. It's a very good conversational piece. Let's just say
Especially if you
that
got a
for weed
nice one. You got a
smokers
nice one.
who just sit around and talk like the '70s show shit.
If you got,
um, and the other one is like, I'll spin the block. Skirt.
yo, Action Pack. I love that reference to '70s show. I don't think so many people didn't know what they were doing when the smoke was in the room, but I immediately knew exactly what they were doing, and I immediately was like, okay, I fuck with this show. Shout out to the '70s show. Although I don't like Ashton Kutcher, and this is crazy, in Two and a Half Men. Like, love that show, love Two and a Half Men, but don't like Ashton Kutcher in Two and a Half Men. What do you think?
No, I just wanted to be honest with you. Uh, from the start, I just wanted to be honest with you. I don't do that anymore. It's just something that I did in my past, and I think that I mentioned that to you because um, it's the most honest thing that I could ever mention, and so that's why I mentioned it. Yeah, because it's the most honest thing, and the thing that you and most people don't know about me. Yeah.
Hey man, listen, sharing is caring, right? You care about this, we're sharing on this platform. But fellas, we're gonna wrap up in about 10 minutes. But yeah, man, let's see what's going on with this next bubble. Following you.
Yeah, like I'm like to myself, I got a little one, right, for myself. It's just one that had the plastic piece you could put on it. So if somebody wanted to smoke from it, you just pass it, and they put the plastic piece on it, smoke on it, and then then they take that off, and you smoke whatever, so your lips don't touch and all that kind of stuff. Because some people be gotten like, how high? What that ish on your lip, man? No, no, no. We don't pass to you. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Another good high I had. I wouldn't like say, you know what I mean? It made me feel just relaxed. It was a strand. You can't really find it no more. Jack hair mixed with sour diesel. Oh my gosh. That shit just had me like, yeah, by the diameter of the sarcophagus of the mind. You know, I was a brainiac.
Yo, that was cool. That was cool. Thank you, Action Pack.
Yeah. Shit, man. I remember that bid what me and brother Bong did about 3 years back. We walked up in the subway, ordered some subways after we eat that. We walked up into the bank and jacked them for over $1 million. And you know, we never got caught. The money's buried somewhere. Cause I didn't bury the money. Brother Bong did. He buried the money somewhere, and he can't remember. And that's why we're here on stereo now. You know what I mean? We can't remember the money buried. It's been 6 years. We need to find that shit. T.I. or TMI. Yeah, too much information.
Listen, man, I don't know nothing about nothing, bro. I'm from the projects, okay? My brother and I, we was talking about that today. We was saying how in our household, like you could get fucked up for saying the wrong shit. You could not run nobody's business, and if you did, you got checked for that shit. Shout out to mom. I love you, mom. I've been heaven. Thank you for checking us out. Thank you for protecting us. But yeah, man, I'm from one of those households where they didn't play that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? We are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, Brother Bong. Medical cannabis could increase the efficacy of chemo, reducing the side effects. Consuming cannabis before exercising can result in heightened enjoyment and enhanced runner's high. So if you exercise, do you exercise high? Third thing, segment 3, routes of administration. We talked about the respiratory route, that's through the lungs. We talked about the mucous membrane, that is sublingually under the tongue. We talk about through the digestive tract, that's the stomach. And then the fourth is the direct contact. What does that mean? Well, that means that the same oil that now has been decarboxylized can be processed into a balm, into a product that you can put directly on your knee, directly on your ankle, directly on your back. And that contact is cannabis in its 1, 2, 3, 4 forms. We got a bubble. What's up? 2 bubbles.
So here's the thing: is that my dad taught me how to rob banks, and in a respectful way, because that's the only way I knew how to do it. So one day we were driving along, and we got pulled over. And my dad looked at me and said, "It's over. It's over. We're done. We're done. We're done." Yep, we got caught. And the policeman said, "Oh, don't you know you have a headlight out?" And then he just gave us a warning, and then we just drove away. I was scared as fuck. You can imagine.
Yeah, shout outs to Mom Dukes out there and all that, up in heaven and stuff, mine in heaven and stuff too, one love and all that. And the ones, like I said, yeah. Um, Me, like, I just spoke what I want to speak. She let me speak what I want to speak what I want to speak. But I never speak no language stuff. But if I did cuss and say something wrong, my mom was one of the ones that got the soap and wash your fucking soap till you started choking up and spitting it out and stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, and another thing, names. We don't say names. It's like when we're having a conversation and all that, and I'm having a conversation with you, brother, Bong. I ain't bringing up, yeah, yesterday me and Mike went out. No, me and homie went out. We don't say no names. We don't, you know what I mean? And once you say a name, you got your father or your uncle looking at you, ready to backhand you. Tommy, put on your GTA, get in the car, and go rob your banks. You know what I mean? Yeah, your father taught you how to rob banks on GTA. Great. Yo, man, that's a fun game, too. I taught my kids how to rob them on there, too, and how to get away and beat the game, you know what I mean? Fun game, you know what I mean? Just don't do it in real life, people.
That is a what do you call that? A public service announcement from Action Pack. Shout out to everybody who's been involved with the show. Thank you, Tommy, for your candid conversation. Thank you, Action Pack, for the lively back and forth, man. I had a great time. Come back and check out the show. I usually do the show. I did it a little longer today because I forgot how to do it. I forgot how to put it on the how to do it the right way and the timing. But I'm just gonna set it up for next week, and we will be back next week at 9 o'clock. So we usually go from 9 to 10. So we are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, brother Bong. Listen, man, shout out to all my friends. Shout out to everybody who came on the show today. Shout out to you, Action Pack. Shout out to Tommy. Shout out to everybody else that I don't have the names. I got to remember to write them down. Remember, cannabis is a medicine. Is cannabis medicine? Yes, it is. It can help people with cancer. You can consume cannabis if you're not sick, and you can consume cannabis just when you want to work out, and it can increase that experience for you. We got one more bubble. Let's see what's going on, Tommy. What's going on, Action Pack?
Shout outs to you. Thank you for doing this back and forth. You know what I mean? I like this. You know what I mean? I'm a conversationalist like you too. And I respect that. You play the messages after the thing so the conversation keep on going. Some people will sit there and talk for about 5 hours, not play and then the message is way behind what the conversation is. You on point, yo. You on point with your shit. So thank you for your time, space, and keep on doing what it do. Till next time.
I thank you. Action Pack. So I invite you to come back. Like I said, we followed each other. So when my when my live is coming on, we try to do it every Wednesday from 9 to 10. Coming to you from the Cannabis Chronicles. We are the Cannabis Chronicles, coming to you from Black Unicorn Division Studios, Bronx, New York. Shout out to Best Buds Magazine. Shout out to Sage Genetics. Shout out to Canaware. Shout out to Chill Pipes. Shout out to DK Edibles. Didn't get a chance to mention them today. Check out if you want some, and again, you want to check out these people, you can check them out on my Instagram. I'm Brother Bong 420. That's Brother Bong 420, and you can find all of my friends there. DK Edibles. Shout out to Big Gas Worldwide. Shout out to Nicole and everyone over at Nahi Farms. Shout out to Normal, Bronx Normal, New York Normal, Normal, Nationwide Normal. Shout out to Jeffrey Hoffman. You want to find out and ask him or know anything about cannabis in New York State, check out his show, and you can find him on my Instagram. Uh, Appreciate you all for being here. Faith-based hip hop. It's good to see you here. I wish you had come a little earlier. We are wrapping up the show in the next minute or so, but I am your boy, Brother Bong, aka Dr. Bong. We are a weekly candid cannabis community conversation, and we appreciate the time that you share with us. And you can also see us, and if you want to hear a review or a replay of the show, you can check us out on our podcast channels. We are available on Apple Podcasts. We're available on Spotify. Amazon Music, iHeart, Podcast Index. Our main platform is Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout, excuse me, Buzz Sprout. I like that because buzz is in it, and cannabis is. People say you get buzz from cannabis, and also on my YouTube channel. So check us out. I am your boy, brother Bong. Appreciate you. We're gonna play this last bubble, and we're gonna be out.
I'll go back and listen to it. Sorry, I've been off for a little bit because my kids got home from school and I had to do homework and cook dinner and everything. But I'll definitely come back and check into it. I appreciate your knowledge. I'm a big, I was one of the first medical marijuana recipients when I turned 18 years ago, but then also, like 25 years ago. But then also I've been a big advocate for Hemp Fest as well as the legalization of marijuana. I still sell Delta 8, Delta 9, and joints through the mail. Through my and a couple other cannabis products. Also, Living Tree on here is another big good cannabis connoisseur. She makes some topicals and stuff like that.
Faith-based hip hop. I would love to continue this conversation. I'm going to follow you now. Okay, don't see you. Okay, so yeah, you're friends of mine. You're friends of Africa, and you're friends of Yanni. So follow me, and thank you for so much for choosing. All right, I look forward to speaking with you too. All right, we are the Cannabis Chronicles. I'm your boy, brother Bong, and we are out. Thank you. Thank you, friends, stoners, and Canna Fan. Peace.